thought it was great. I thought it embodied everything that we hoped it would from a competitive standpoint, and just kind of knocking the rust off, but getting everybody together. Everyone seemed energetic and together, so I thought it was a great first day. No, actually I wasn't. I felt really prepared coming into it. Had enough time. The off season was long, and so this is just a day that I've hoped for, a day that I've dreamt for a long time. So I'm appreciative of how the day went.
What's the kind of culture that you want to build here? What Angel said is that it's competitive right away. It's a winning mentality. I mean, do you agree with that? And what are things that you want to add on to that?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's the theme for this year, is that we want to compete, and commit and compete are the two words that you're going to hear me say a lot. It's pretty much the theme of what this year has been, something that we talked about in our first team meeting last night. And so we just talked about the investment that it's going to take within each other and for the game. And from that standpoint, we wanted to build up a competitive training camp roster that leads into a competitive roster once we make it down to final cuts going into the season.
And you know, it's about how competitive that roster is. Based off of what you've seen just in day one, it's still early, but are you feeling like it's going to be difficult for you and your coaching staff to narrow this roster down toward the end of the year?
Sure, but I think those are good problems to have. I think that when you have a roster full of players who are capable of making that final roster, I think that's ultimately what you want, and ultimately the kind of culture and environment that you want to create each day, because it helps push the young ones and the vets that are already here. And so I'm excited.
It's early, but what stands out to you about Courtney Vander's?
Man, her leadership, her presence, it's something that's, she doesn't have the biggest voice, but when she talks, people listen. I think that in itself is powerful, because you know that when she speaks up, there's something, information that she wants to share, and there's a lot of experience there. There's championship experience there, and so it's invaluable what she brings to our team.
How do you foresee her role?
Just as that, as a leader, as an extension of our coaching staff on the floor. There's times that she makes life a lot easier for everyone on the court. She makes life easier for our staff from the sidelines.
Coach, just on the two draftees that are not here at camp, can we get an update on Aisha Suka and when and if you expect she'll be here? And then on Coulibaly, I guess it felt a little confusing, like drafting her and then ending up bringing some undrafted players. So if you could just kind of clarify that sequence of events for us.
Yeah, we're still sorting through some of that, but I think that they're both still excited to be part of the Sky, and we've been in constant communication in terms of what our expectations are moving forward, and whether it's this year, whether it's next year. We want them to be up to speed on what we're doing, even from abroad. And so we stay in communication. We watch film remotely, and so we're going to make sure that they're up to speed whenever the time comes for them to be here.
Did everyone get through today healthy?
Yes. Our coaches are probably more sore than our players, being on their feet so long. But no, everybody's healthy from what I understand.
Angel came out of Unrivaled with that hand injury. What exactly was the nature of that, and do you guys have any concerns about that limiting her at all in preseason?
No, she went through full practice today, so she's good to go. She feels good, she feels healthy, she feels in shape, so it's just a matter of getting the entire team into game shape moving forward, so we're all good.
Coach, you have a lot of veteran leadership here, not just in Sloop, but Atkins and a lot of others. How does that help you in your first year as a head coach, and how they can, as you said, be an extension of you on the court?
Yeah, I think in training camp it's important to have everyone on the same page, and when you got veterans who've been through this kind of process before, we got Kia Nurse and a bunch of other, Rebecca Allen, so we got a lot of vets here that can help get our young players up to speed, so where the learning curve isn't as daunting as it may seem. So again, it's invaluable, the level of experience that all of our vets can bring.
I know it's also only day one, but Angel and Camilla now being out there and seeing them work with a veteran point guard in Sloop, Atkins, Nurse, everybody, what kind of projection does that give you on what their growth and potential can be this year?
Yeah, it elevates their game from a mental standpoint, but also physically, when we're able to space the floor with those shooters on top of their vet experience that they bring, that only brings the best out of Camilla and out of Angel as well. And so whether it's spacing the floor or whether it's sprinting into ball screens and things of that nature, we have veterans that don't let those little things slip. And so the attention to detail, that just heightens when you have the veterans that we do.
How much could that help? How much could that veteran leadership help Angel? Because she had a lot on her shoulders last year, a lot coming at her. Now this year there's more veterans. How much will that help her both on and off the court?
Yeah, I don't think it's just for Angel. I think it's for all of our young players to have that kind of vet experience. It's tough coming in as a rookie. You got 2, 3, 4 weeks max to transition from the college season into the pro season. And I've said this before, I think that we sometimes do a disservice to those young players and expecting them to be a finished product right off the bat. And the reality is there's a learning curve that it takes no matter what your college career was. So whether you're coming off a national championship like Angel or Camilla, or coming off of a great season like Maddie and Haley. There's a learning curve to be had, and so again, that vet experience that extends throughout the whole group.
Not just the first day of coaching staff with your players, but like not just with your players, but also with your coaching staff being out on the court. What's kind of the chemistry that you want to have with your coaching staff, not just in training camp, but moving forward?
Yeah, I think first and foremost it's the preparation. Coming in, we wanted to have a concise plan of what we wanted to do. We know that things are going to adjust as practice goes on, but we want that sense of preparation felt amongst the players too, so that they know, that a lot of it has gone into planning the practice and how it's going to be, and so we want to feel that trust from them, and we want to create trust amongst each other because this is our first training camp together as well. So we're all going through it together. I think that's one of the cool parts about how this team has kind of formed, and so it's great. It's a great process to be part of.
Next, please.
What do you see as kind of the main focuses that you want from Camila specifically this season in terms of her growth?
I think her aggressiveness and assertiveness offensively and discipline defensively. I think that she's got all the makings to be an elite two-way player at her position in this league. I think she runs the floor just as well as any big in this league does. And so for her to have the mindset that when she's got one-on-one down in the paint, that she's taking advantage of those opportunities. When she's in the ball screens and she's getting out of them, that she's doing so in a way that doesn't just open stuff up easier at the rim for her, but it's creating shots all around the perimeter for other players too. So she can be dynamic, and we're going to get her to that point.
What's it like having your father on your staff?
Man, it was awesome. It was awesome. It's something you could probably speak to a little more than I can, because I was so focused in trying to get everyone else on the same page. But I think that when you take a step back and look at it, it is only so many people that get to experience something like that. And so I'm extremely grateful that he's here.
How do you think Courtney Paris can work with your bigs, especially the younger ones, just on footwork and all that type of stuff?
I mean, she's one of the best to do it. So I think that part of her being here is for that, is being able to share the experience and the wisdom that she's had in her career with them. And I think that she's one of the more respected people in this building, just from who she was as a player and who she is as a person. And so she's been a tremendous asset to us, and will continue to be moving forward.
Obviously, it's only day one, but what are some of those fundamental, non-negotiable things that you try to instill from the jump with your team?
Yeah, I think that it's one of the things that I kind of took from Vegas is respecting the game, respecting opponents, respecting your teammates. I think that we want to create a culture of respect across the board, a way of communicating with each other, being able to be coached and be able to be coachable. And I think that there's a level of transparency and vulnerability amongst the staff with each other and the staff to the players that creates an environment and a bond of trust. And so those are the non-negotiables here. It starts off the floor and then extends on the floor, and at times we want those things to mirror each other. So we want to create an environment of selflessness and togetherness, and as long as I'm here, that'll be the staples of who we are.